Hello, I'm Elizabeth Hane, and this presentation outlines my strategic advocacy plan for integrating social emotional learning into early childhood education. SEL supports every child's mental health, social development, and academic readiness during their most formative years. This is not just an educational issue, it's a community and equity issue. Despite clear research showing its importance, SEL is not consistently included in early childhood programs. Many families want to support their children's emotional development, but working demands and systemic pressures limit their ability to do so. Unfortunately, this means that during a time when the brain is developing most rapidly, many children are missing out on learning critical emotional and interpersonal skills. Why does SEL matter? Social emotional learning supports children's mental health, helps them build empathy, form relationships, and improve school readiness. According to Keefe, 2015, SEL serves as a foundation for lifelong well-being. When SEL is intentionally taught in early childhood, it provides children with the tools they need to manage emotions, resolve conflict, and make responsible decisions themselves. There are several key factors that stand in the way of integrating SEL effectively. Many people, including some educators and policymakers, are unaware of its long-term benefits. There's a heavy emphasis on academic benchmarks, especially standardized testing, which often pushes SEL to the sidelines. Teachers also report a lack of training and resources to deliver SEL meaningfully. Children, families, and educators all benefit from SEL, yet their voices are not always reflected in policies and programming. Teachers want more support, parents often feel overwhelmed, and administrators, often driven by test scores, may not prioritize emotional development. Policymakers need compelling data and public support to make the SEL integration a priority. Organizations like Girls Inc., First Five California, and the NAEYC are powerful allies in the fight for SEL integration. They understand that a child's well-being cannot be separated from their learning. On the other hand, opponents might include budget administrators or school boards focused solely on test scores. That's why we need strategic advocacy to shift the narrative toward whole child education. My advocacy plan includes short-term goals like holding community SEL workshops and partnering with Girls Inc. to expand access. Mid-term, I aim to present to school boards and pilot SEL initiatives and local programs. Long-term, I want to support policies that fund SEL-based teacher development and advocate for statewide SEL integration in early childhood curricula. I'll use a combination of educational, persuasive, and mobilization strategies. This includes parent handouts, data-driven presentations, community petitions, and visual campaigns that highlight real stories. We need to humanize the data and show why SEL is a right, not a luxury. The timeline begins now. Through this PSA and continued research, I'll build momentum over the summer with community petitions and events. By fall, the goal is to present to local school boards and implement pilot SEL programs with key partners. This is just the beginning of a broader movement. In conclusion, SEL isn't just a program, it's a practice of humanity. In today's society, many parents aren't afforded the privilege of making child rearing their singular purpose. That's why it's our responsibility as educators and advocates to ensure that every child, regardless of zip code, receives the emotional and social support they need to thrive. Let's work together to make SEL a right for every child every day. Thank you.